In a historic room where every eye tracked the slightest movement, the unexpected happened. Princess Catherine, always known for her composure and discretion, suddenly burst into tears. These were not tears scripted in any royal protocol, yet they brought the entire room to a stunned silence. What caused it? A shocking secret was revealed. Princess Anne, a devoted guardian of royal tradition, broke decades of silence to reveal Princess Diana's final will. Stay united no matter what happens. Diana's words echoed through Anne's resolute voice, an ageless message. But Catherine's reaction wasn't just emotional, it was profoundly symbolic. She felt the weight of a legacy she was now entrusted to carry, not only of a mother, but of a global icon. So what truly unfolded behind those closed doors, and could that single moment rewrite the future of the monarchy? Let us know in the comments. Type 1 if you feel moved by this story, or 0 if you see it differently. Share your thoughts with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, where we'll uncover every secret in this journey. The room was filled with a moment of intense emotion as Princess Catherine, known for her usual calm demeanor, suddenly burst into tears. This emotional reaction came when Princess Anne revealed a secret that had been kept for decades: Princess Diana's final will. With a firm and purpose-driven voice, Anne broke royal tradition with a powerful statement: stay united no matter what happens. But Catherine's response wasn't just emotional, it was a reflection of the weight of the legacy she now carried. This moment, emotional and quiet, unfolded in a room steeped in royal history. Portraits of past kings lined the walls, and the antique furniture whispered tales of centuries gone by. No one could have predicted such a moment would happen here, not in public, not loud or too raw. Princess Catherine stood composed as ever, her hands clasped tightly beside Princess Anne, who was unwavering, looking straight ahead. Anne's voice was calm but heavy with meaning, delivering a message that was unmistakable. Then Anne's words froze the air in the room. "This is her final wish," Anne began, not with drama, but with solemn seriousness. "No matter what happens, the family must stay united." Catherine's lips parted slightly and her eyes fixed on Anne. For a moment she appeared confused, unsure of the significance of what had just been said. But as the words settled, so did the weight behind them. A tear escaped from Catherine's eye, then another. Her chin trembled and the emotion was impossible to hide. She cried not only because of Diana's message, but also because of everything it represented: decades of fractured relationships, unsaid pains, and silent sacrifices to keep the royal image intact. And now, with just a few carefully chosen words, Anne had lifted the veil on a long-kept secret. The emotional weight was undeniable. This wasn't a royal performance or staged grief. It was the heartbreaking truth of a royal woman's sorrow in front of millions. And this was only the beginning. Diana's legacy is more than a memory. It is a force that continues to reverberate. Her voice, her choices, her pains, they echo through time, shaping the present and future of the monarchy. Through the hallways where her children once walked, Diana's final wish, unheard until this very moment, once again stirs deep emotions. The fascination with Diana has never faded. She was not only the people's princess, but also the face of the monarchy, the one who broke tradition by touching hearts instead of merely waving from the balcony. For many years, memories of her were balanced with royal protocol, but now, thanks to Anne's revelation, that memory is not only powerful but personal. Diana's voice, once drowned out by the noise of tabloid gossip and the silence of the palace, suddenly roars back to life, not through scandals or rumors, but through Princess Anne, one of the most respected and disciplined figures in the royal family. This is significant because when Princess Anne speaks, everyone listens. Anne has never chased after sensational headlines or scandalous events. She has always maintained an air of protection, loyalty, and caution, making this moment in which she shared Diana's message even more purposeful and meaningful than ever before. She did not display excessive emotion or try to create drama. Everything she said came from a sense of duty, from a truth carefully chosen with no intention of seeking attention. Therefore, this message was not just words, but a call to action, a reminder of the royal family's responsibility to protect the values that Diana spent her life building. For Princess Catherine, the emotional impact of this moment was immediate and profound. Diana's wish not only touched her, but also declared her as a wife, a mother, and the future queen of the monarchy. For someone in Catherine's position, where every action is under scrutiny and must be measured, Anne's words acted as a reaffirmation that she not only carries the weight of her family, but also the legacy of the royal family. That moment was not just an acknowledgement of Diana, but a statement about Catherine's future role in leading the monarchy, where compassion and human values cannot be overlooked. They shared a quiet intimacy that was rarely spoken of, unremarkable by public standards, unpublicized in the media, but deeply real. It was the kind of bond built not on spectacle, but on shared understanding and silent loyalty. That closeness is what gives Anne's words such gravity. She isn't speaking to stir rumors or ignite drama, she's fulfilling a promise made in trust. And when she speaks now, it's not to command attention, but to offer healing and clarity. The room was gripped by an intense wave of emotion, as Princess Catherine, typically composed and reserved, suddenly broke down in tears. Her unexpected reaction came in response to a revelation that stunned everyone present. Princess Diana's final will, a secret kept hidden for decades. In a steady, deliberate voice, Princess Anne defied royal convention and delivered Diana's powerful parting message: "Stay united no matter what happens." It was more than a quote. It was a directive shaped by love loss and hope. But Catherine's reaction wasn't simply a For years, Princess Anne had been the unwavering anchor of the royal family, strict, dedicated, and unshaken by any change in tradition. Yet behind that steadfastness was a private, deeply personal bond with Diana, one that few knew about. They were not only colleagues in royal duty, but also friends bound by an understanding and mutual empathy, forming a connection that was not easily expressed in public. They shared an intimacy not often discussed, unspectacular, unpublicized, but very real. It is this closeness that gives Anne's words their weight. She is not revealing rumors, she is honoring a promise. And when she speaks now, it is not for attention, but for healing. Anne's voice is steady, her eyes not seeking approval. She simply conveys Diana's wish with a trust only someone like Anne could carry. And in that moment, Anne did something quietly profound. She did not pass the torch to herself, but to Catherine. It was not an act of ambition or obligation, but one of deep understanding. Anne recognized that the future of the royal family, and perhaps even its moral foundation, could no longer rely solely on tradition. Now, with that symbolic torch in her hands, Catherine stands at a crossroads. The choice is hers to carry it forward, to redefine what it means to serve, to connect, and to lead not with expectation, but with the strength of empathy. It is a quiet yet pivotal shift, one that places Catherine not only in a role of duty, but one of destiny. Diana's wish, long kept secret and only recently revealed, was never just a private hope for her children. It was something more intimate, more profound, a final wish for herself. Not for fame, not for revenge, but for legacy. a legacy she entrusted not through titles or bloodlines, but through spirit. And Catherine was the one person Diana believed could carry that spirit forward. That wish, once spoken, was simple, undeniable, and powerful, and it rippled through the royal family like a wave of emotion. It was not a political statement nor a strategic move, but a mother's final plea whispered in private and held close by a sister-in-law who understood just how much weight such words could carry. Diana's wish was not about appearances or public relations. It was about keeping the soul of her family intact. Even after losing her sons and her legacy, she wanted them to grow up in a home where love overcame resentment. What makes her wish profound is how direct it was. No grand vision, no complex conditions, just one thing: stay together, protect each other. Do not let the weight of the crown tear the family apart. Now, this message comes alive in the most unexpected way. It doesn't come from William or Harry's hands, but from Catherine, who must now decide what to do with it. It redefines how we see Diana's legacy, not just as a symbol of compassion, but as a woman with foresight, understanding that her family would face storms beyond her time. And now, Catherine stands in that storm with Diana's voice both a burden and a guide. Catherine's tearful response is a confirmation. There's something deeply moving about seeing someone cry when they've never done so publicly. It breaks expectations, it allows you to step inside, and that's exactly what happened when Princess Catherine heard Diana's final wish spoken aloud. She wasn't prepared for it, and when Anne's words rang out, you could see the emotional shift spread across her face. Her jaw clenched, her eyes narrowed, and then the tears began to flow. Not the kind of tears you'd expect from a royal, elegant and composed. These were heavy, genuine tears coming from a feeling of being seen, feeling the weight and feeling completely overwhelmed. Because Catherine knows what those words mean. They are not just a memory. They are a reflection of what Diana tried to preserve: her marriage, her role, and the emotional gaps left by silence and time. As the future Queen Catherine is entrusted with the duty of protecting the family's image. But at that moment, the image shattered. What remained was Kate, a woman standing in the shadow of a legacy that refuses to fade. The audience watching didn't just sympathize with her. They felt her. Catherine's tears were not a sign of weakness. They were a confirmation, a sign that the crown still held a heart. And within those tears was a silent promise to honor Diana's wish, not through words, but through action. Behind the scenes, Princess Anne had quietly absorbed and carried the story of Diana for many years. Before she ever stepped into the spotlight to reveal Diana's final wish, she held that secret close within herself, nurturing it in silence. For a long time, this wish existed like a hidden prayer, one spoken only in private moments and preserved in fragments that were never meant to see the light of day. It was a deeply personal truth, tucked away behind closed doors, shielded from public scrutiny. But over time, something inside Anne shifted. A quiet yet persistent voice from within urged her that the moment had finally come to share what had long been kept hidden. Anne is a woman known for her careful thoughtfulness and measured actions. She is never one to act on impulse. Every step she takes is weighed with deliberation, guided by a profound sense of loyalty and responsibility. This inner voice and sense of duty converged to lead her to a momentous decision to step forward and make Diana's final wish known to the world. It was not an easy choice, but one made with clarity and conviction, bringing a deeply held truth out of the shadows and into the light. Those closest to Anne believe she kept Diana's wish like an unsent letter. Perhaps it was a conversation they once had at Balmoral late at night when the world wasn't paying attention. Perhaps Diana wrote it, and Anne kept it locked in a drawer that only she could open. Regardless of the origin, the message was real. Anne knew she could not hide it forever. Inside, sources reveal that Anne quietly discussed it with trusted advisors, wrestling with whether sharing it would help or harm, whether the timing would reopen old wounds or finally begin the healing process. Anne chose not to create drama. She chose duty because this wasn't about headlines. It was about honoring someone who could no longer speak for herself. When Anne finally shared it, she did so with a calm dignity that only she could carry. No embellishments, no emotion, only the truth. Delivered in a way that cut through the noise and went straight to Catherine's heart. That's what made it so powerful. It wasn't planned, it was personal. And that was just the beginning. The royal family has long existed in a delicate and intricate balance, one foot firmly planted in the weighty traditions of centuries past and the other tentatively stepping into an ever-changing modern world. This balancing act requires them to navigate the complex intersection of history and progress, of ceremony and relevance. For generations, the monarchy has upheld rituals and codes of conduct designed to preserve its mystique and authority. But moments like these, when Princess Anne courageously revealed Diana's final wish, and when Catherine, visibly moved, allowed her tears to be seen by the world, shatter that fragile equilibrium. In these moments, something profoundly sacred is touched, not just the enduring legacy of a family, but the very way the monarchy chooses to reveal itself to the public. For hundreds of years, members of the royal family have been meticulously trained to suppress and conceal their emotions. The image demanded by the crown is one of stoicism, the famous stiff upper lip, a composed and polished exterior where smiles are carefully managed and sorrow is veiled behind impeccable decorum. This cultivated image has served as the backbone of the monarchy's public identity, reinforcing an aura of strength and stability amid turbulent times. Yet this facade is often fragile, unable to contain the full depth of genuine human emotion and vulnerability. Beneath the carefully maintained surface lies a deeply complex and relatable humanity, one that these rare, candid moments bring to light. Diana completely transformed the way the public viewed the British royal family. She did not hesitate to show her vulnerability, honesty, and true self qualities never before openly displayed by any member of the monarchy, which is known for its stoicism and emotional restraint. Her sincerity made her stand out, earning her admiration and empathy like never before. Diana was not just a fashion icon or a royal figurehead. She became a symbol of genuine humanity. A woman with deep emotions and vulnerabilities, brave enough to face and reveal her weaknesses in an environment full of intense pressure and strict expectations. However, precisely because of that honesty and approachability, Diana also faced harsh judgment and punishment from society and the media. She became a symbol of contradiction, both celebrated and admired, yet simultaneously isolated and criticized. Her courage to express her true emotions broke the rigid rules of the monarchy, making her a controversial and complex figure in the history of the royal institution. Diana was not just a woman in the public eye bathed in glamorous light. She was someone who dared to live authentically regardless of the consequences that choice brought. Decades have passed since Diana's courageous openness, yet Catherine now seems to be navigating the same delicate emotional tightrope. The moments when Catherine reveals her pain so clearly and authentically are more than just fleeting glimpses. They are powerful signals that resonate deeply with the public. These instances raise an important and challenging question for the monarchy itself. Should the institution continue to uphold its tradition of emotional restraint, keeping feelings hidden and vulnerabilities under wraps? Or is it time for those protective walls to come down, allowing a more genuine expression of human emotion? In today's modern world, the expectations placed upon the royal family have evolved significantly. People no longer want to witness only grand ceremonies and formal appearances that mask what lies beneath. They crave sincerity and real connection, a royal family that shows its true face, complete with imperfections and heartfelt emotions. Catherine's visible vulnerability offers a window into this new reality, suggesting that true strength in leadership and legacy may come from embracing openness and emotional honesty rather than simply maintaining an impenetrable facade. Today, people no longer just want to witness polished ceremonies or dazzling titles. They crave authenticity. They want to see that behind the glittering crowns and powerful titles are real people with hearts that feel love, pain, and vulnerability. Catherine, perhaps unintentionally, has given the public exactly that, a relatable, emotional, and deeply human image. She has become a symbol of honesty amid a world steeped in the rigid, strict protocols of the royal family. Now Catherine stands at a challenging crossroads. She can choose to return to the familiar path, the path of silence, emotional restraint, and upholding centuries-old traditions. Or she can embrace a completely new path, a path that allows truth and emotion to coexist alongside tradition, opening the door to profound change for the monarchy. This is not just a personal decision or an internal family matter, it is an institutional question about the future and identity of the entire monarchy. Whether she wants it or not, Catherine may be the one compelled to lead this crucial transformation. As that moment passed, the atmosphere inside the palace shifted immediately and profoundly. No one expected the day to end in tears, a rare sight in royal history. Princess Anne's calm yet weighty revelation sent a powerful emotional wave through the heart of the monarchy, an institution known for its strict control and seldom showing emotion publicly. This was not just a private feeling, it was a poignant reminder of unhealed wounds and untold stories behind the castle walls. The reaction that followed was swift and discreet, unfolding behind closed doors. Royal advisors whispered quietly in empty corridors, while media teams began drafting contingency statements, preparing for any potential fallout. When Catherine was seen crying on camera, linked to memories of Diana, the implications of the event grew even greater. This was not merely a public relations crisis, it was a strategic family confrontation suddenly laid bare before the world. As that emotional moment spread widely, King Charles is said to have withdrawn into a private meeting to focus on managing the situation. The pressure on him was immense, facing an event that not only impacted the royal family's image, but also threatened to cause deep internal upheaval. Crisis management quickly became the top priority amid rising public scrutiny and relentless media probing for information. Meanwhile, Duchess Camilla, who has always been keenly aware of maintaining the royal family's image, is said to have expressed deep concern about the headlines that would follow in the coming days. The revelations about Diana's wishes, combined with the public display of Catherine's emotional distress, could spark dramatic and contentious stories that the royal family had never anticipated. This created significant pressure, forcing the monarchy to develop a response strategy that was both cautious and delicate. Princess Anne has always been a prominent figure in royal duties, attending important events and representing the British monarchy with grace and dignity. From an early age, Anne demonstrated her commitment to public service with some of her most notable appearances, such as her visit to the Soviet Union in the 1970s. She has represented the Queen at key events, highlighting her role in diplomacy and peace-building during a time of tense international relations, posing a major challenge to the unity and stability of the monarchy moving forward. The silent but weighty question echoing through the thick palace walls was truly simple. How can we handle this situation without losing empathy or becoming disconnected in the eyes of the public? This was not just a question of how to respond in a difficult moment, but a profound consideration of how the monarchy can maintain closeness with the public in an era where everything is intensely scrutinized. Some within the inner circle believed that a gentle, human-centered, and empathetic response would foster consensus and help minimize unnecessary harm. What do you think? Should the royal family continue to uphold traditional distance? Or is it time for a more compassionate and relatable approach to connect with the public? Don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to follow this emotional and ever-evolving journey with us. However, alongside these views, there were conservative voices supporting the royal family's traditional strategy of silence, hoping that everything would settle quietly without any further public reaction. They believed that restraint and emotional control were the only ways to protect the family's image and reputation, avoiding prolonged waves of controversy. Yet Catherine's emotional display proved that sometimes silence is not the answer. Behind the heavy palace doors, Catherine's tears and genuine emotions sparked a much deeper impact than initially expected. This event forced the royal family to face a serious internal reassessment of the monarchy's role and place in the modern world. The public didn't just see Catherine crying, they felt that pain and hurt. The brief footage of that moment left a powerful impression, showing more clearly than ever that behind the crown are real people with real emotions and untold stories. Catherine's tear-streaked face quickly became a viral sensation across all social media platforms. On TikTok, numerous edited videos emerged set to gentle piano music highlighting the deeply emotional moment. On Twitter, discussion threads sprang up trying to decode the feelings and significance behind her tears. Meanwhile, on Instagram, countless posts echoed a poignant phrase: "Diana's wish still lives on." The public's reaction was immediate and deeply heartfelt, reflecting an outpouring of empathy for Catherine. This wave of empathy extended far beyond traditional royal watchers, reaching even those who were previously indifferent to news about the royal family. Many who had paid little attention before suddenly voiced their support, as if recognizing the humanity and closeness in that moment. One prominent comment read, "She's one of us." This underscored the idea that despite wearing a crown and living in a palace, Catherine is still a real person with real emotions, bringing the public closer to the monarchy than ever before. That moment marked the dawn of a new era in how the public views the royal family, not just as symbols of power and tradition, but as human beings with genuine stories and feelings. For the first time in many years, the royal image felt so accessible and real, making people feel that the wishes, pains, and hopes of its members were no longer distant but truly touched the hearts of the public. Even skeptics paused. This time it wasn't about scandal. It was about shared humanity, a woman under immense pressure showing part of her pain to the world. Traditional media outlets were divided in tone. Some tabloids tried to turn it into palace drama, while others leaned into the emotional weight of Anne's revelation. But one thing was clear: Diana's presence still captivated, and her influence continued to draw attention. Now her voice through Anne to Catherine once again became the focal point of royal discourse. Princess Anne is also a passionate patron of numerous arts and science organizations, contributing to the advancement of cultural and scientific initiatives. She firmly believes in the crucial role of arts and science in society and continues to strengthen the connection between the royal family and the fields of creativity and innovation. She consistently supports activities aimed at preserving cultural heritage while also creating opportunities for sustainable scientific development. Such a genuine, unfiltered moment was incredibly precious. Catherine's tears were not seen as a sign of weakness or lack of strength, but rather as a profound reflection of maternal love and the enduring pain that Diana had experienced, a pain that never truly fades, no matter how much time passes. In that brief moment, the public did not see a cold royal symbol or a queen waiting to ascend the throne. They saw an ordinary woman carrying the burdens and love for her family with genuine honesty and equality. This created a deep connection, making people feel closer to the image of the royal family than ever before. Despite having a busy royal career, Princess Anne found time for her personal life, particularly in matters of the heart. Her first marriage to Captain Mark Phillips was widely publicized and attracted significant public attention. However, after many years together, their marriage faced difficulties, especially with the revelation of Mark's affair with art teacher Heather Tonkin. Ultimately, the couple divorced in 1992. Now, Catherine is not just a symbol of elegance and duty. She has become an emblem of emotional truth within a historic institution that has always been carefully guarded and reserved. Her natural and sincere expression of emotion has transformed how she is perceived both within the royal family and by the public. This change not only fosters greater closeness and understanding, but may also usher in a new era for the monarchy, one where authenticity and emotional openness are valued alongside tradition and ceremony. It is this transformation that is reshaping the future of the entire institution. Until now, Catherine has been seen as the stabilizer of the royal family, a bridge between duty and charm. But showing this level of raw emotion places her at the center of a much larger question: what kind of queen will she become? Will she retreat, hiding her vulnerability as the moment passes like a wave? Or will she embrace it, stepping into a new role where emotional openness isn't seen as fragility but as strength? This may be a true turning point, the moment when Catherine begins to take on leadership not only through her quiet grace and presence, but through truth, empathy, connection, and the emotional legacy that Diana once tried to build and that Princess Anne has now quietly yet powerfully brought back to the surface. In a monarchy that evolves slowly and cautiously, change rarely arrives with fanfare. But it is often in moments like this, private, sincere, and unscripted, that the future of an entire institution begins to shift. Catherine may now find herself becoming the emotional compass the royal family needs, especially for a generation of people who are no longer looking for a fairy tale queen, but yearning for someone real, relatable, and emotionally grounded. What Catherine chooses to do next may not only shape the path she walks, but ultimately define the legacy she leaves behind. In a modern world where every action is observed, analyzed, and amplified at lightning speed, authenticity has become the most valuable currency, and that more than any royal title or tradition may be the true test of her role, not just as a royal figure, but as a leader guided by emotion, connection, and the strength of her true self. Because in the end, the crown is not only forged from gold, but from everything one carries beneath it: pain, courage, compassion, and the legacy of those who came before, which one chooses to carry forward. Diana's legacy strategy is now quietly guiding the monarchy. It is incredibly rare in modern history for words spoken decades ago to carry such vivid relevance in the present. And yet Princess Diana's voice, gentle but resolute, continues to echo through generations of the royal family, offering a kind of emotional wisdom that no strategic memo or communications advisor could replicate. Diana never had the chance to write out a long-term plan for the monarchy's future. but through her very being, with her sincere heart, fierce empathy, and deep desire for unity, she left behind a lasting sense of direction, one far more enduring than any blueprint drawn behind closed doors. Her final wish, now revealed, was not only about keeping the royal family together. It was also a message and a guidepost for an institution that has always wrestled with balancing human emotion and royal heritage. Stay united. A simple, direct phrase, and yet, in the context of everything the royal family has endured since her death, those words take on a prophetic depth. More than a sentiment, they have become a compass for a monarchy in transition, one shifting from a distant symbol of power toward a more connected, emotionally resonant institution that reflects the spirit of its time. King Charles, the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip, was born on November 14, 1948. His life has been deeply intertwined with great expectations and royal duties. However, during his childhood, King Charles also had the chance to experience exciting travels, stepping away from royal protocols. He attended Cheam Preparatory School and later Gordonstown in Scotland, which was renowned for its strict discipline. However, Charles did not feel at ease there and once described it as a harsh experience. More open, more vulnerable, and more human. Who better to lead this delicate and challenging evolution than Catherine, who has just demonstrated profound humanity through her actions and emotions? Her genuine tears not only show empathy with Diana, but also create a powerful bridge to millions of people worldwide. That emotional connection brings her more than just support. It grants her a rare moral authority, a strength that arises from the ability to deeply connect with people beyond titles or status. This makes Catherine not just a member of the royal family, but a representative of the humane values Diana once championed. The legacy Catherine lives and develops is not about replacing Diana's image, but about carrying Diana's voice and spirit into the future of the monarchy. This is an important journey where the crown is no longer just a symbol of traditional power, but must learn to truly feel and show genuine understanding and empathy toward the modern public. Catherine stands at the center of this transformation, bearing the responsibility to both preserve tradition and pave the way for a new generation with a softer, more humane, and deeper approach to the role of the monarchy today. Moments like this don't simply fade into silence, they resonate. They leave marks. And when the cameras stop rolling and the flashes dim, what remains is the choice of the path ahead. For Princess Catherine, that choice is becoming greater than ever. After her tearful moment and Princess Anne's shocking revelation, the question is no longer whether she will act, but how she will act. And more importantly, what will that action symbolize? Insiders close to the palace say Catherine has entered a period of deep reflection, not out of fear, but out of respect and purpose. Some whisper that she might first choose a quiet path, a private tribute to Diana, something not for the public eye. Perhaps an authorized artwork, a memorial garden restored, or maybe a discreet visit to one of Diana's favorite charities without fanfare but with quiet reverence. However, others feel that something more visible may be on the horizon. A carefully prepared speech, perhaps not delivered in a grand royal context, but in a very private setting, maybe a children's hospital or a center for families in crisis. A context where vulnerability and strength coexist naturally. A new patronage focused on family unity or emotional resilience is also being discussed behind closed doors. In addition to caring for Charles during his illness, Anne did not hesitate to ask questions and challenge those around her when she felt it was necessary. A clear example of this was when her sister-in-law, Camilla, went on holiday shortly after Charles was diagnosed with cancer. Anne privately confronted Camilla, suggesting that as queen consort, she should take on more responsibilities during this difficult time to support Charles. This action not only showed Anne's deep concern for her brother, but also highlighted her protective nature and determination to prioritize his well-being above all else. She has the potential to reshape how the royal family interacts with the world, making the institution feel both timeless and relevant. Within the royal circle, the recognition of Catherine's capacity to humanize the monarchy through sincere emotion is transforming the way advisors think about royal representation. This shift goes beyond mere image management. It reflects a deeper understanding that the monarchy must evolve to maintain its place in a changing society. Catherine's ability to connect on a personal level gives the royal family a fresh and necessary tool to renew its relevance. As the institution navigates the delicate path between honoring heritage and responding to contemporary expectations, her example sets a new standard, one where dignity and tradition coexist with openness and emotional truth. Another development is quietly taking shape amid the turbulent backdrop, the growing relationship between Catherine and Princess Anne. For many decades, Anne has been seen as the embodiment of duty, steadfastness, and discretion within the royal family, a guardian of traditional values with unwavering loyalty. However, after Anne chose to reveal Diana's final wish publicly, a new door seemed to open, creating an opportunity for these two women to unite around a shared purpose. Now, between the woman who represents the old guard's protective force and the future queen, a potential alliance is forming. They share an important mission that transcends personal or generational differences. The combination of Anne's long-standing experience and Catherine's sensitivity and approachability creates a vital counterbalance within the royal institution. This is not just a collaboration between two individuals, but a symbol of the broader changes the monarchy is undergoing, gradually opening space for sincerity and genuine connection with the public. Their joint mission is both strategic and deeply humane to build a royal image that maintains tradition while becoming more empathetic and relatable to the people in an ever-changing world. If successful, this cooperation will mark a significant step forward in modernizing the monarchy while preserving the core values that have long sustained its enduring strength. The conversations between Catherine and Anne are said to be more frequent now than ever before, hinting at something deeper than mere mutual respect or admiration. These exchanges suggest the formation of a strategic alliance, one that goes beyond simple loyalty to embrace a profound understanding of each other's roles and responsibilities within the royal family. Anne has placed her trust in Catherine by sharing Diana's most sacred and heartfelt wish, entrusting her with a charge that transcends ordinary duty. In turn, Catherine can rely on Anne's seasoned wisdom and guidance as she navigates the complexities of honoring that wish. This evolving partnership reflects not just a personal bond, but a purposeful collaboration aimed at safeguarding the emotional and symbolic legacy of the monarchy. Adding another crucial layer to this dynamic is Prince William, Catherine's husband and her partner in this legacy. Together, they form a united front balancing tradition and transformation within the royal institution. William's support strengthens Catherine's position, giving her not only a trusted confidant, but also a shared vision for the future of the monarchy, one that respects the past while embracing the demands of a changing world. This trio, connected by blood duty and a common mission, represents a new chapter in the royal family's ongoing story, where leadership is defined not merely by birthright, but by empathy, wisdom, and a commitment to evolving with the times. How they choose to express themselves in the coming weeks may send subtle but powerful messages. a joint appearance aimed at unity. A quiet acknowledgement that they are not just listening to Diana's voice, but also to the world watching them. This is not just about optics, it's about direction. A shift toward emotional leadership, something rare in royal history, but necessary in today's world. The stakes are high. Catherine is no longer just an elegant and stable figure. She is becoming the emotional compass of the next era of the monarchy. So what happens next? Whether it's a quiet act of remembrance or a bold public initiative, one thing is certain: this is no longer just royal duty. It's about rewriting the meaning of that duty. And Catherine, standing in the light of Diana's final wish, is ready to write the next chapter not in silence, but with purpose. Not just for the benefit of legacy, but for a future that is still unfolding. The story begins with a few simple words, calm and steady, yet carrying the weight of deep emotion and profound meaning. The calm voice of a sister carries a long-lost and hidden wish of a mother. The tears of a princess, showing sincerity and genuine feeling, have melted the cold, icy walls of the monarchy. But what unfolded was not merely a family revelation. It was a pivotal moment, a turning point for the entire modern monarchy. Right in the heart of that historic room filled with tradition and solemn ceremony, something shattered not from scandal or crisis, but from the power of true emotion. Through those small cracks, a new truth began to emerge, a truth about the real human being, about emotions allowed to be expressed, and about a monarchy gradually transforming itself to embrace a new era where emotion and humanity are no longer suppressed but become the strength to move forward. Princess Catherine has always shown calmness and strength, revealing to the world a side of the monarchy that has long been hidden, the courage to show an open and vulnerable heart. Her tears are not a sign of weakness, but a powerful testament to the genuine emotions and great responsibility she carries. This responsibility goes beyond her role as the wife of Prince William and future queen. She has also become the new guardian of Diana's legacy and voice. Through this emotional moment, Catherine connected with people worldwide, revealing the real human side of royalty that resonates with every generation. Meanwhile, Princess Anne's revelation of Diana's sacred message was not merely a remembrance of the past, it awakened a powerful legacy. By choosing to share this private and heartfelt wish, Anne not only honored Diana's memory, but also passed a symbolic torch to Catherine. Catherine, who had not expected this burden, is now called to rise and carry that legacy forward. This moment marks a crucial turning point where past and future converge to create an opportunity for the monarchy to evolve with greater empathy, authenticity, and purpose. So where does the monarchy go from here? Can it allow space for vulnerability without losing control over tradition? Can it be both resilient and evolving? Can it truly honor the past while stepping into the future? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. Diana's voice has returned not in whispers, but in action, in emotion, and on the tear-streaked face of the woman who now holds her place in the world. The crown remains, but now it rests on the shoulders of someone who understands that deep emotion can be the monarchy's most powerful force. Stay tuned, for this story is far from over. The wish of one woman, the tears of a princess, and a legacy too powerful to remain silent. As the crown faces the future shaped by emotion, Catherine may become its most important compass yet. Is this the beginning of a more human monarchy, or a spark of a deeper transformation? Stay tuned. Diana's story is still alive. So what do you think? Is this the beginning of a more human, compassionate monarchy, or just a fleeting moment in the tide of change? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Type 1 if you believe this is a true awakening, or 0 if you think everything will eventually return to the way it was. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss a single moment of this emotional and ever-evolving story. Diana's story lives on, and the next chapters are being written right now. Thank you for watching today's video. We'll see you in the next one.